Hey, this is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show, and I'm glad you're back, or I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad we're both back. The first part of this show is going to be what might considered a little whining, and I'm going to consider it a little explanation. And I've had a frustrating week, and so I'll put my no, I can't do that. I was going to say I could put my hands up when I get to the part where I'm not whining, but I don't have the camera on, so you won't see my hands. All right. Anyway, I've not been able to do any shows recently, and the reason being is that my computer has been running unbelievably slow. Now, when I say my computer, I have over 35 computers in some form or fashion. And the reason I have so many is because I had a hobby. I say had because I'm not doing it much lately. I had a hobby where I would recycle computers. I would get computers given to me that were either broke or they were old or whatever. I would try to get them working, and then I would give them away to people who either their computer broke or they were using a computer at the library or something to get on the internet. Anyway, it was a free computer. And that worked out pretty good for a while, but then it got to the point where people didn't want older computers, they wanted newer computers. And most of these free donations I got were older computers. They worked fine, a little slow. They'd work on the internet, but they were a little slow. So I started accumulating computers because I can't give them away. So I need to clean those out. Anyway, moving on. So anyway, about a month ago, I was given the computer I'm using right now, which is probably one of the fastest computers I have, and it's only an i3 processor, but that's better than most of the computers I have. Except for one, I do have one that has an i5. And my attempt was to set it up so that I could do Hangouts on the air, which consumes a lot of CPU power, plus demonstrating SDR software, which some packages consume a lot of CPU power. Okay, so I set this computer up. I finally got it working. I did a couple of Hangouts. Everything was kind of moving along. I still have a problem with the audio because I don't have a mixer in line with the microphone. And my voice is normally pretty bassy. And so on my other computers that I use for my shows, I have a mixer with an equalizer, and I turn down the bass and turn up the treble, and that helps my voice a little bit. Anyway, so it was working other than that. This week, all of a sudden, I got a new to me, SDR software package that I found that I'm going to go over that later in the show. So there is something to look forward to besides my babbling. And I had gotten it a while ago. I hadn't tried it. I thought I'd try it, since I had this faster computer, because it seemed to be kind of a CPU hog. So I got it working, but then it kind of was struggling. It was like it was running out of processing power. And I'm like, what is going on? And so I looked down at the computer, and I noticed the hard drive is running all the time. And I'm like, what is going on here? So I shut that program down. I thought maybe that's what's doing it. And I eventually just turned the computer off, turned it back on, and I'm watching the hard drive. And it's busy as heck. So I tried to figure out what that was for like 2 days. Finally, this morning, I said, okay, I've got to fix that problem. So I booted up the computer. I watched the hard drive, and it's busy all the time. And then I brought up the task manager, and it shows the hard drive is like 100% access time most of the time. And I'm like, what is that about? So I looked at what tasks are running that could be using the hard drive. And I found that one of the tasks, and there's like 3 of them that are busy all the time. I haven't delved into the other 2. But the main one that was using the hard drive was Windows Update. Now I'm running Windows 10 on this computer. And it had started an update a couple weeks ago. No, I take that back. It started an update last week. And it was stuck in the update. And when I went to the settings page for updates, it showed there's an update, initializing update. And then it showed downloading update. And then it showed installing update. And then it showed initializing update. And it was stuck in this circular pool. And it kept doing that over and over and over again, and it wouldn't stop. And yesterday I let the computer run for like 4 hours, thinking that maybe something like that was going on, and that it would eventually finish. Well, it didn't. And so I did a search on the internet on Windows 10 stuck in doing an update. And apparently this is a fairly common problem. And so then I found out, okay, how do I stop updates? So I shut down updates. So I turned off updates for 6 months. And I'll have to figure out that problem later. Apparently there can be updates that the way your computer is set up or whatever, it doesn't like. And then they have to make an update to that update to get it to working again. So I turned updates on. So now I think that problem is put aside, I'll say. It's not solved, it's put aside. So the hard drive is not working all the time. It's still pretty busy, but it's not working all the time. So that was the reason I couldn't do any shows, because the CPU was just too busy to do any recordings. So, okay, that part of my babbling is over. Now I'm going to tell you one more thing about updates, Windows updates. Another problem I noticed on another computer down in my workshop is one of my SDR software packages stopped working with a dongle, an SDR dongle. It just refused to see it. This is another problem. When Windows does an update, sometimes it will replace one of the special drivers that these SDR programs have installed. And now the driver is gone, and now the software package, the SDR software package, can't access your SDR dongle or whatever. So you have to reinstall the drivers, like ZAG, Z-A-D-I-G drivers, for instance. So I've got one SDR program on my computer down in the workshop that now doesn't work, and I can't figure out how to get it to work again. So that's another problem. So that's another thing you need to watch out for, is all of a sudden your SDR software is not talking to your SDR dongle or SDR. That could be the problem, and you may have to reinstall the software or the SDR drivers, depending on whether the software needs the drivers or it has them built in. Okay, now we'll get on to something new and exciting. I got a message, and this was some time ago. I got a message from rtl-sdr.com. There, one of the things, of many things he has on his websites are articles, and you can comment to an article, and you can also set up to have an email sent to you when an article that you've read has a new comment. And I have several of the articles on this website that I have that set up. Okay, one of them is the listing of all the programs for SDRs. And I'll go up to what I'm talking about on the page in a second, but I wanted to just show you the entry because it's near the bottom. This gentleman, Marco, in response to this listing of software-defined radio packages, he said, this one, and I don't know how to pronounce this. It's either Remio or something like that. There's another package, and he lists the link to his website, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. Okay, and that was back in December. That's how long ago it was. So I noticed it, and I, put it in the back of my mind. I got to go check this out. Well, I was trying to check it out this week. So let's go back up to the top so I can show you where I'm at. This is the page of many pages, which is a listing, a huge listing of all the software available for SDRs. If we go to the top, you'll recognize some of them. Let's go back here. And this hasn't been updated in a while. It hasn't been updated since August of 2017. And here's SDR Sharp, HDSDR, and so on. And it's, this goes on and on and on and on. So this guy commented, hey, I've got a software package. Would you please add it to, this list, which hasn't been done yet. So I downloaded that package. Now here is his website right here. And I'll put a link to this website. I think if you just search on TRREMINO, you will find it. And he has a ton of applications. And they all look pretty interesting. So if you go way down here, these are all the applications he's got. Let me just zoom down here because he's got a lot of them. You zoom way down to near the bottom. I don't want to pass it. Oops, I think there it is. So there's the Thermento, whatever it is, SDR software package. Another piece of software for communicating with your SDR dongles or SDRs. Okay, so now I'm going to try to show that to you. So I'm going to minimize this, and I've installed this software, and hopefully it will run. Otherwise, this show was a total waste. Okay, it's trying to load. Okay, there it is. Very similar to other packages. And it's pretty easy to run. I don't recall that I had to install any drivers. I think it states in the documentation that this is set up for the RTL-SDR.com dongle, but I'm sure it will work with other ones. I'm using the RTL-SDR.com dongle right now, and the setup is familiar, similar to SDR Sharp, and it's got a really nice S meter. I really like that S meter, and it seems to be fairly accurate. I don't know if it is or not. And then you come up here and hit run. And
study links the Flint, Michigan water crisis to lower fertility and higher infant death rates.
We turn now to a growing crisis in Flint.
Okay, what that is that's local FM station 89.7. I'm tuned off a little bit, which is an FM station which is mostly talk, so I don't have to worry about music playing. And as you can see, it's coming in quite well. Now, the one thing negative that I've found about this package is it doesn't have a very wide bandwidth. think it's set up here. Yeah, I think it's right here. Sample rate. And you can see that it only goes up to 2.56. That's as high as it goes. Actually, the RTLSDR.com dongle probably won't go any higher than that as far as bandwidth that it captures. I'm thinking of the SDR Play, which will go up to 8 megahertz. So that's probably normal for this dongle. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. That's not really a negative. It's just that that's a characteristics of that dongle. Now, I don't think there's any way to set it up for a different dongle. I don't think so. I'm just learning this, and this is just kind of an introduction. Okay, I didn't want to do that. You can load a frequency list. So I'm not going to go over all the details. I just want to use this show as an introduction, and then I'll learn more about it. Another nice feature is this frequency list, and it's preloaded with a bunch of frequencies. Now, the FM frequencies are not applicable to my area. I think this comes from Italy. I think it comes from Italy. And so it's European type frequencies in here for the FM and probably medium wave. But it looks pretty nice. Let me run it again for a few seconds and show you what it looks like.
As early as January, February 2018. That got shifted to where it's going to be sometime in 2019. And then more recently, they now have no timeline for us.
So what kind of red flags does that raise for you?
Huge red flags. We don't want this to be a forgotten thing. We can't let this fall off the map after what's happened.
If you're talking to at the national level, you're talking to the EPA, you're trying to motivate citizens to take more responsibility for testing their own water. What is the role of local government to make sure something like this doesn't happen again?
Down here.
That's a very good question.
Like I say, I'm just getting used to this. But it has these sliders. Here's one for volume. Here's one for zooming. This window here. This one over here is for changing the amplitude of the display. This is for changing the bandwidth, I believe. Yes. So you can see down here the bandwidth change
Well, thank you for having me on.
of the audio that's coming through. And here you can change the contrast of the display. And it has, has AGC, DNR, FFT, in and out, S meter, either show the S meter or don't show it. A lot of features. And it looks very promising. And I like the way it's laid out with this nice S meter. I can say it's similar to SDR Sharp. So I just want to introduce you to this, and then I'll learn more about it. If you're interested in me doing more shows, let me know in the comments, and I'll do that. I think that's about it. I finally got something off of eBay. Nothing fantastic, but let me see if I can show you what it is. Okay, let's shut this down, and let's go to here. Anyway, here's the website where the software came from. And he's got all kinds of software, and the address is THEREMINO.com, and then he's got various pages. Here's all the various pages. He's got a blog, all kinds of. It's a good web page itself, all by itself. Not to mention all the software he has written. Anyway, what was I going to show you? Oh, I would see if I could find I don't know if I can find it. I didn't really mean to do this, but I'll give it one quick shot. Radio Shack amplified antenna. See if I can hit that. No, I didn't. It's probably too generic. Yeah, it's too generic. Maybe I put shortwave in there. Radio Shack shortwave antenna. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now,
okay, what we have here is a Radio Shack.
Okay, stop. That's what I got off of eBay. I don't think they're that fantastic, but I want to try one out and want to show you guys, you know, what it's like. So I got one off of eBay. Terrific price. The guy had it as a buy now, and I think I paid $12 for it. And we'll see if it even works. I don't know if it came with the power supply, which is sometimes they don't come with a power supply. But we'll try it out. See how it works. It's similar to another one that I did a year or so ago from, I think, Sony. And I wasn't too elated about it. And the problem is, hold on one second, bear with me. I'm picking it up to look at it. And one problem, I would say, is it doesn't have an external antenna connection. So it's got this built-in telescopic antenna. And of course, you can always clip a lead to it to go to an external antenna. But of course, as I mentioned many times before, you can't really listen to shortwave in your house if you're like me and have a lot of electronic devices turned on. So this, for me, I would either have to clip on an external antenna or take the thing outside. Now it does work on batteries besides AC. So that's coming up. Not too exciting, but at least I found something on eBay. So that's it. Take a look at that new software package. If you, like I say, if you're interested, let me know if you want me to delve more into that software package. It's very similar to many others. That's it. If you enjoyed my show, please give me a thumbs up and have a great day. Thanks for standing by, saying, well, thanks anyway. Bye. Jeez, I am such a ditz.